Hello and welcome to Flippin and Mashing, a podcast about pinball, arcade, video games, movies, whatever the heck else is in our game rooms. This is Parnell, and with me is Ryan.
It's Ryan, the voice of Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Wow, you don't sound so musky.
No, I don't.
Ryan, this sounds like a different Ryan.
It is. The funny thing is we both talked in the past. The other Ryan and myself.
Yeah, this is like a Ryan twosome. We have, I don't know, it's like usually your handle, it's TurboGrafx-7.
It is, yeah. So typically I'm streaming pinball, not podcasting so much.
Yeah, you have a stream on the Buffalo Pinball every Friday, right?
So was it last Friday? Yeah, last Friday. Was my last stream for a while. I'm going on a hiatus. Because in about a month, I'm having a baby. Well, my wife's having a baby. My third and final kid is coming, and after that, we're done. So, with that coming up real quick, my daughter's starting school in beginning of September. I kind of was talking to my wife and said, why don't we kind of spend a lot more time with the kids and kind of prep for this new baby? And because my daughter is going to be 5 in September, and my son is 2, and I'm like, once the baby comes, they're going to be all. I figured, between now and when the baby comes, the Fridays being open now, which we've streamed on Fridays for years. It's just take that longer weekend to maybe go on a trip or something before the baby comes, but we'll see. So since I'm taking a step back, my streaming partner Dave Brennan is kind of taking the reins, and he and I talked about this for a while beforehand. He's kind of made his own streaming channel, Dave's Arcade, so check that out. Still streaming with Buffalo, so you can still see Dave's awesome collection, which is normally what we were streaming anyway, because he's got like almost 60 games to my 14. So, and his basement's like an arcade, and mine's just cement.
Yeah, he has a lot of games.
Oh,
even when he was in Minnesota.
Yep. Yeah, he had to have like over. I don't know. I forgot the details, but yeah, he's got a lot.
Did anybody pick up Friday, or is Friday kind of open now, or is it just normal?
It's kind of open now. The summer, those guys kind of go like they have the the usual bro show and all that, and they kind of go on a summer vacation themselves just because there's so much going on in the summer for everyone else to hang out and do fun stuff.
Well, our podcast took a little break as well. I can definitely feel that sometimes you need one every so often, especially if you have a kid on the way. I think my 2 kids are about the same age as your 2 kids, so
yeah,
I know how that goes because it's about 9:40 and they might be sleeping. They were just running around.
A little after 8, and my son was not happy for a while afterward. He finally conked out.
Sometimes just like want to give him melatonin and be like, shh, go to bed.
It's for your own good.
Are you drinking anything tonight?
I actually am. I'm drinking it's called Push Play. It's a pale ale by Eagle Park, which is a local brewery. I'm not really a pale ale guy. This one's actually not too bad, and the reason I'm drinking it is to get it out of my refrigerator.
That's like the dad, like garbage can eating at the dinner table thing. You're just like, I'll eat everybody else's food.
Exactly.
I had a gin and tonic, and now since I'm in the basement, I'm having a Bud Light Seltzer Hard Cola.
I was at a fishing bachelor party over this last weekend, and we had these beer mosa things, and it was like you take concentrate limeade and you add 3 cans of water to that, and then like half a bottle of Tito's.
Ooh.
And then like we put 2 cans of Coors Light in there, mixed it up, and you couldn't even taste the alcohol, dude. It was like scary.
Those backyard ones can get pretty I wouldn't say toxic, but they can get pretty lethal.
Dude, I drank 2 and I was like, I'm done, because I know like this is potent.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. We used to do one in college where we would take a 2-liter Mountain Dew, empty out down to the top of the label, fill the rest with vodka, and then add like a half a packet of Kool-Aid or whatever to flavor
Hmm.
it. Throw it in the freezer, and that was your drink for the weekend. Like you would just get bombed off half of it.
For sure.
Let's see. We should talk about. Where's my show notes? We have you on. It's exciting. We want to get to know you a little bit. You said you had 14 games.
I think so, off the top of my head.
So is that just all P3 games? You just have 14 different
No, that
P3
I
games?
include the P3 in that lineup as one game actually. I mean, man, maybe it's like if you include all the P3 games, it's like over 20. But
So what do you remember that you have physically?
to visualize my lineup, dialed in, moved everything around because my water heater went.
Hopefully it didn't leak.
Oh, it did. I caught it though.
Oh, oh God.
Like I caught it as it was happening. It was like a miracle.
Oh, those are the best.
Dialed in, World Poker Tour, Pinball Magic, Big Game, which is on the way out. Victory, Gottlieb, the P3, Star, Demo Man, Simpsons Pinball Party, Walking Dead, Stern Star Trek, Stars. Oh, a TX Sector, Total Project.
Oh, you got a nice mix.
Yeah, I used to have an EM for a little while, but I bought it from Dave and sold it back to Dave.
EMs are their own little beast to
They
keep
are
running.
for certain.
I have one EM at my in-laws, and it doesn't get played much, so I'm assuming it doesn't work.
I was just gonna say, so it's dead.
Yep. And he's like, I think the flippers aren't strong. I'm like, oh God. I'm have to open it up. Um, let's see. 14 games, nice mix. I've been thinking about trying to get more Stern Electronics games to put on route, but
Nice.
every time they come up for sale, I miss out. Way too
I
popular.
A long time ago, I didn't care about older games. I mean, it's not that I didn't appreciate them. I did. I play them. I enjoyed them, but I was like, I don't need to buy one. And then really changed my mind was Pinburg. After having to play them like competitively, it totally changes the way you look at a game. So I went from being like, yeah, they're okay to like, I think I need some of these. I've only had two Stern Electronic games, which is Big Game and Stars, but I had Harlem Globetrotters for a while.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was nice. I actually sold that to Eric Pripke.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I know Eric.
I had a I had a free Spy Hunter that someone was like, "Get this out of my basement." I'm like, "I'll be right over."
It didn't stay long, did it?
It was well, it was a basket case too. Like Dave
Oh,
had to work on the soundboard in that game is like exclusive to that game. So it's like if that thing goes, like good luck trying to find another one.
yeah. You gotta somehow learn how to fix it.
Yeah, and so we turned it on and there was like, smoke and sparks, and he took the board home, worked on it, put it back in, and there was smoke and sparks. And he's like, I'm gonna try one more thing, and that actually worked.
No good.
I shopped it out, and yeah, ended up just someone was like, "Oh, I'll buy it." I'm like, "Here you go, goodbye."
Isn't that the one where the flippers are kind of in toward the right, and then on the left side, its own little
Yep, it's like
game
a
thing over there?
weird, yeah, it's got the weird pop bumper, and then you can like qualify a gate to open in one out lane to save the ball. It's so bizarre. It's weird. I mean, the art's cool, the sound effects are cool, but the gameplay's trash.
That's what I know. I played it at like SS Billiards at one of their Goose events or whatever back in when I first got into pinball, and I thought it was too weird. Is anything new or changing up in the game room?
I want to let a few games go for now. Um, I want to pay some bills. I'm kind of thinking about letting Demo Man go, which I did list a while ago, and I got nothing but tire kickers, so I ended up just pulling the ad. I want to get rid of Victory because I don't even play that at all. I bought it on a whim because you never see them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh man, I mean, ever. Like the first time I actually played a physical one was the one that I bought.
Yeah, maybe I've maybe seen one in my life. Otherwise, I just play it on the
Yeah,
Pinball
on
Arcade.
Pinball Arcade, exactly.
Hmm.
And I mean, obviously, I have Weird Al coming soon
Oh,
too.
what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did your is your shipping still showing pretty positive?
Yes, shipping is good. It's shipped. So
Do you do you know when you're gonna get it?
I do. Uh, so I was told it was coming on a certain day, and then I got an update the next day saying it was coming the next day,
Hmm.
and then 2 hours later I got an update saying it was back to the original day.
Okay, same thing with me.
Really?
So yeah, yeah, because I was a little depressed that it was gonna be a day late,
That
and
was super
then
sad.
like yeah, a couple hours later, whatever, it's like back to normal. I'm going, uh-oh, what's wrong with you guys,
Yeah.
the shipping people? But as long as it's this week, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I'm that game. You got to go see the Whitewood, for lack of a better term, prototype, however you want to term it.
Yeah, I got to play the prototype. Uh, so one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was kind of the difference because like the whitewood literally was whitewood. I when Jerry pulled the cover off, he was like, "What what do you think it is?" And I'm looking, I'm like, I fucking have no idea because while I enjoy Weird Al, like listening to him on the radio or whatever, I don't follow him per se, so I didn't know that like Harvey was a thing, and I've never
Sure.
seen UHF yet. And so, like, those things didn't pop out at me as something that I knew,
So
and there
did
was
did
no
he tell
art.
you? So he pulled the sheet off or the blanket off, and he was like, "Do you see what it is?" And you're like, "I have no idea what that even is."
Yeah.
I
So
would have been the same way, to be honest.
yeah, and, I mean, I kinda
So there
felt
was
bad.
was there any plastics on it even?
No. No, there was nothing. The topper was what would have given it away, so he kept
Oh,
the
okay.
the
So
lid on
you
the
saw the
topper.
topper.
And then when, of course, he told us, I was like, "Oh," like, then it started clicking, and I was like, "Oh, okay, okay." Um,
Yeah,
the
I enjoy Weird Al, like, know all the songs and whatever I mean, like all the popular parodies he did.
Mhm.
And it wasn't like it's not a dream theme for me, say, but after seeing after hearing that it was Weird Al and seeing everything and what they did, I am extremely happy. Like it when you think about it, like the theme and the license really does work well with pinball. Like it's perfect.
um, I was having this conversation with somebody else, I don't remember who, but when me and Ryan gave our first impressions and we were or before we could announce the game name, we said a lot of stuff like, "Oh, it's super packed and longest shot," or
All true.
all these like the squeeze box combos, stuff like that. Um, there were some other podcast people that called us out that we were just fucking fanboys, and I was like, "You have no, yeah, you have no idea." And some of those people have never liked anything that P3's made, so I have no idea what they have said after if they've played it. But um, in my mind, if there's a handful of games that even if you don't like the theme, they play really well, and this is one of those games that plays super great. And like you said, the artwork, everything goes well. I mean, it's fun to see his interaction with the player throughout all the different modes, and his callouts are insane. There's over 2,000 of them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like when you're playing it, because I played less than 10 games on because Neo Skywalker locally has one. So I pre-ordered this thing like everybody else and been waiting. There's something that's so special and different about playing a game in a home environment where you can hear all the call outs. Like when you play games at a show, so hard to hear everything and get the total package like that. And the one thing that really stood out to me that was making me laugh was like you start a mode and Al goes to explain the mode and you cancel it with a double flip and like he'll make some smart ass comment to you. Like, "Oh, you think you know everything fine." Like all those
Oh,
little
that's so
things like
awesome.
that made me like, and it's different. It's not the same thing every time you do it. So like all of that little nuanced stuff is like what I really appreciate about this game, because this game like just silly and humorous, and like that's what I want in my pinball. Like that's why I like games like Medieval Madness because of the goofy humor or like the campy humor in like Elvira. Um, so like that's why like when you listen to the things he's saying, you hear that there's over 2,000 some call outs, like it makes it a lot more special. I mean, to me anyway, like I really enjoy that.
My daughter also picks up on those little like quips and sayings and things. So she'll repeat crap from Monster Bash and Medieval and Cactus Canyon, and then we watched the stream of Kevin playing, and she was same thing. I was like, perfect. This is what I want, right? The family funny. She enjoys it because then she will just keep saying it like the rest of the day. So she loved the dancing Allosaurus,
Oh, that
and then
like I think so far my favorite mode is Gerbs, and that's
oh
because
yeah,
of like the moshing. Like it's just I don't know. It's cool. I like it. I really dig it.
man. So when I played the prototype, half the modes didn't have either didn't work like complete like the mode would start but like nothing would happen,
Mm-hmm.
or you could play them technically like germs, but it wouldn't do anything. You would just kind of drain out, and then the upper VUC didn't work, the UHF lock didn't work, and then the right ramp wouldn't go up for the you know how it can go like three different ways? It would just go up and down for your ball going under it, and then to hit up it, but it wouldn't do it like the magnet up there didn't work. So like I wouldn't say half the game didn't work, but it's going to be a big shock to actually play a production game. So,
Well, yeah. I mean, you played a prototype Whitewood. I mean,
but I remember one night Jerry was like, "Oh, let's go out," and I was like, "Can we just go back and play more Weird Al?" Because it just um, it was fun to say like, "Okay, this ball or this game, we're only gonna go for UHF multi-ball, or this ball was I'm gonna build the biggest damn sandwich I can make," and so we would only shoot for that stuff, and that's where it's kind of like the heist, where it's like these fun little modes that you kind of forget about unless you get to them. But
yeah.
watching Kevin's stream was fun.
Well, that's the thing. Like you look at like Weird Al, and there's like however many modes. I forgot how many of actual like normal modes there are. But then like you're collecting spatulas, you're collecting shirts, you're collecting tools, like, and then you're doing like the Harvey thing to do the Harvey multi ball. Like there's all these things in addition that are. It's just there's a lot to do, and I appreciate that.
I didn't realize you could bring in like four multi-balls to all the modes.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was
Damn.
watching Carl today, like the VOD, and I was like, man, there's just so much to do.
It's gonna be I'll probably stick it in and it'll be in there for a while.
Yeah, I suspect mine'll the cabinet for quite a long time.
Is your cabinet easy to get to, like the swap playfields?
Yes, intentionally.
Okay. I have my couch in the way. So like the heists and stuff are heavy and it's like leaning over a little bit sucks so bad.
which side do you prefer to go
Um
to?
I go from the left only because I have to.
So facing the cabinet, like in the front, I prefer to do it from the right side.
I think I would
Which I
too.
I don't know if it's because I'm right-handed, maybe. I don't
Mm.
know. And maybe because the all the plugs for the modular on that side as well.
Yeah, Ryan's was on the other Ryan, his was open on the right side.
Mm,
And I remember that being I thought it was easy, but then
mm-hmm.
yeah, mine's on the left and I am also right-handed, and what that means is I have to then my right hand's just supporting the playfield, my left is
Doing all the
lifting.
work. Yeah,
And
exactly.
I do have an issue with heist, like I mean I gotta do more push-ups or something, but like so if it's too heavy and not being over the game far enough, it does get a little tricky to guide it into the but again, I have a couch in the way. If your game was open, it's very easy to swap in.
Yeah, I the other thing I've been wanting to email Jerry, but I don't want to bug him with all the, they're busy, obviously. I want to buy the official multimorphic module storage system, but I know it's not ready yet. So now I'm getting my third module, and I don't want to build a homemade one. But if it's gonna be a while, I don't know if I'm gonna have a choice.
I also want one. I know Nick and Baldridge and Gamma Gamma Goat have made one.
And Kevin did
And
as well.
oh yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
I
Kevin
think
did
they all
one.
went off of Nick's. I think Nick's the one that designed that.
Okay. And I know Kevin did the cover, the dust cover, which
Yep,
is necessary in my opinion.
I agree.
But the carts are nice because then it slides out from under the game, like between the front legs. Where if you, I don't know if you're like me, I have them in the original boxes. They don't fit through the
I do
front
as well.
legs. So
Nope.
annoying.
I think currently I have CCR out in the box, and it's sitting on top of Big Game.
Oh, I just my wife just not that I'm throwing my wife on the bus, but she's just like, I want it to look nice down in the basement. And I'm like, what? A bunch of random boxes everywhere? It's not nice.
What?
How about a
It's
torn apart
tidy.
8 ball?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, like my TX sucker's been torn apart for over a year. So I have this like folding card table next to it with all the crap piled up on top of it. And every time I walk past, I'm like, ugh, you're pathetic. Get that fixed.
Don't you love that? Like once you get used to it, you're just like you forget about it.
Well, everyone's like, aren't you gonna forget where you put everything? I was like, mm-mm. I took 1,000 pictures, first of all. But
I
I put every post back, and every extension, everything, because I knew it would be a while before I got back to it.
mm,
So every little thing went back except for the plastics and the ramps.
oh, that's not too bad then. I thought I took a bunch of pictures of 8 Ball Deluxe. I did not take enough. I'm finding out that my thought process was backwards, so we'll see if it works.
Can't take enough pictures, I feel like, when you're ripping stuff apart. If you can do
Uh,
video, that's even better.
God, I was so I know you stream, but I had thought about putting, like the what do they call those stupid lights where you hang them, the rail lights? Like you see them in kitchens,
Oh, you mean like a
like the
track light?
track lighting. I thought about putting a track above my games with a camera that would then be able to either above every game or slide. But I don't like play enough. I play,
To do all the work. Yeah.
yeah. It's like, where am I gonna put? Oh,
The big thing is everyone's got the mobile rigs now, and um, they're not cheap. And I still use the old, 17 tripods all over the place to put everything on. So it's a real pain to do it. So like I'll gripe and moan like while I'm setting up, but like after I do it and I'm streaming and talking to chat and having fun, like it's you forget all about the pain that it is, and it's a blast. Like I don't like I'm bummed that I'm going on hiatus, but at the same time, like it's family, I have to. But like it was kind of like my downtime out of the week after work and running around like crazy. I mean, you got kids and you work. It was kind of like a little bit of me time with my friends online and
mm-hmm.
talking and hanging out and like right now Dave has all the equipment for the most part. I'm like, well, I can't use it, so here, go to town, man.
See, you're like forcing yourself to take a break.
Sometimes you just gotta take a step back.
Yeah, like it'll either reinvigorate you or you'll find that you didn't need it, or you'll come back and it'll be maybe a little different.
Well, you know what's funny now, and I don't know what it is. I feel like, and not to sound like a P3 shill, um, for whatever reason, my kids now, ever since I got Barnyard,
Hmm.
they're obsessed with it. My son wants to go down and play the cow game. That's what he calls it. And it's so funny to me because like before that, they were like, it's fine. They go down, they hit the start button, plunge a ball, and go to the next game. And like every game's got balls in the shooter lane, and I'm
Yep.
resetting games. And but it's fine, it's whatever. I mean, they're my kids, like they're gonna learn.
No, they
But
better learn.
but it's funny because I feel like with Barnyard, they're actually like listening to me teach them like to not just chimp flip and button mash, and they actually like, okay, you don't hit the flippers until the ball comes down to the flipper. And like even my son, he's 2, and he's doing that.
That's sweet.
It is like it's the weirdest thing. Like I feel like I'm playing more with them lately than I have before. So I don't know. Even though I won't be like streaming as much, maybe I'll be playing with my kids a lot more as far as pinball goes. So I don't know. It's fine. It's just it's the stage of life. And I'm still gonna watch people on Twitch and hang out and chat and support people like I always did. So
I always wonder, like, am I gonna be stuck in this life forever, or are my kids gonna get old enough where I can go back to like doing whatever? But
are you guys done having kids?
oh yeah, totally done. I can't handle anymore.
Well, I mean, we're gonna be done after this one as well. Just kind of look at down the road and stuff that entails, and
It's
you can carve some time out for yourself.
yeah, and usually that right is like when we're recording, it's after they go to bed. But when like my son is 2, and yeah, I mean, when they're that little, you have to keep an eye on them. Otherwise, they're jumping off crap, eating knives, whatever the hell they're doing. I think I purchased Barnyard before my P3 actually shipped.
Nice.
But yeah, that was one game I was excited to, and I haven't pushed my kids on the P3. They like to play TNA a whole lot, and I have no idea. My daughter actually will literally just play it, and she's not bad. She actually got multi-ball. I sent Scott a picture. But then my daughter loves when I play. Oh my gosh, why am I forgetting it? It's the one Nick made where you Silver Falls. She likes to like pick up my character. I gotta get I have to get her to play it. They kind of like watching me play the P3 because they can just stand on the couch arm and just lean
Yep.
over. Yeah.
Well, it sounds weird, but like they're in a weird way making their own memories too, watching you. Like
Hmm.
they're gonna remember this stuff too. And like I've told tons of people because everyone's like, "Oh, you're gonna make your kids play pinball?" I'm like, "No. I mean, if they want to, great, but I'm not gonna make my kids do what I want them to do. Like I want them to have their own hobbies, and if they do like pinball, then that's great. But
Yeah, and I don't want them to hate pinball because then, ugh, that would suck.
yeah, for sure. So
I,
it's cool to see like you say that your kids like want to play.
we all forget that there's the basement in the house with my stuff. But like when um when my wife leaves, like she'll have her evening to herself or whatever, and I'm having to quote unquote babysit the kids. I'll just take them downstairs for a while. I'm like, wow, let's go. And so they want to fire up the arcade one up that I put Hydro Thunder on. They're obsessed
Nice.
with that. And then it's yeah, they turn on the games, the pinballs, and then press start on all of them.
Yep.
Couple flips, turn them all off. The P3 is the best because you can just hold the start button and it backs out. Where all the other games you have to reboot them.
Yeah, exactly.
Freaking CGC games take freaking forever to boot. Like a Spike 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I I
I forgot about it.
my my interactions with the Chicago gaming games is very minimal because a friend of mine who um, hosts our main league down here had a Attack from Mars remake for quite a while, but I never turned it on and off a lot. So I guess I didn't realize that they had a long boot.
I love them, but yeah, the boot time is pretty long. I'm curious if it's because they use a BeagleBone, which is similar to a Raspberry Pi, so it has to boot up this entire OS.
Hmm, interesting.
Um, but well, that's their prerogative. They can do as they wish. But yeah, I mean, once it's on, it makes that super effing loud noise, that bong that I wish you could turn off. Because at night, if all the fans are running up in the kids' room, I can kind of play some pinball when the volume's down.
Hmm.
But that noise, a little too loud. Uh, I don't know. So it's what day is it today? It's July 11th.
Yep.
We both get our Weird L's this week, we hope. Are
That's
you?
what my greatest fear is. So I work in shipping and receiving, so I see a lot of wrecked stuff,
Oh no.
and I pray. Well, so I'm gonna be at work when it gets dropped off,
So is
and
it going to work or is it going home?
no, it's coming home. I had the P3 shipped to my job because of the
Oh,
access to the dock,
yeah, the dock, yeah.
and I should have had it shipped to my job and just thrown it in my car and brought it home, but I didn't.
Well, I guess we also
So
didn't know if it would even like what day it would come.
yeah. So I think I'm gonna call my dad up and have him swing over to my house and take it off my porch and put it inside just because it's gonna be hot. They're just dropping it and leaving. There's no signature required. So I'm like, oh, if I come home to some smash boxes, I'm gonna be
Oh
mega
god.
bummed.
So they're packaged pretty well,
Oh, they are.
but
There's so much that green dense foam they use. Like that stuff is like amazing.
Jerry loves to over-engineer this stuff, but as you know, in shipping, people will wreck anything.
Dude, it's insane. The stuff I've seen, like the very first new in-box game I ever got was dialed in. It was crushed. Like the box was crushed. Miraculously, the game was fine. But the
Oh
top of the box was just caved in, and I was like, "Oh my
God.
god, oh my god!"
Oh no.
So
Um,
like, like I in the hobby I've seen things, but like at my job, the stuff I've seen is like nightmarish.
oh God. I mean, forklifts through stuff is probably pretty common.
Oh, dude, all the
Yeah.
time. Like I just, as someone who like does drive a forklift, like I just don't know how these people do that. Like it's like they're doing it intentionally. Like what are you doing? Like how do you stab things with forks like that?
Oh, you got to TikTok and drive your forklift at the same time.
Yeah, I guess.
When I picked up my Monster Bash, there was a like a hole poked in the box, and I'm just going, "Oh, if you freaking drove something through that." But it must have just poked the cardboard because the cabinet was fine. But I can't imagine. That's just a small rip, but I can't
Yep.
imagine having the top of the box rip like
Oh, I dude,
crushed down.
it was caved in.
I feel like Stern packs a better game than CGC because I know the CGC was like super bare. They just did like the absolute minimum foam corners, tight cardboard box. But I thought when I got Ghostbusters or whatever, they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think the only new in-box Stern I've gotten is Avengers Infinity Quest, and there was a lot of foam in that one as well. I
it's
feel like,
it's cheap insurance in my mind.
oh, for sure. Well, all three games that I've gotten brand new have been the P3 dialed in, and all three were packed very. I mean, as far as like packing material in the box, it was phenomenal. I had no complaints as someone who does shipping and receiving.
We shouldn't we all just be using the pin box? Was that what they called it?
Yeah, the
The
pin
P
pod.
pin, the pin pod. Oh boy, kind of a good idea.
Yeah, but didn't he rip that off from somebody else?
He
I
might
thought
have.
some other company was using that, and he just like,
Some companies need to die.
I'm probably wrong. I don't know. Don't sue me.
I know there's the cardboard box pinball machine called Pinbox 3000.
Yep.
Did you ever get one of those?
I've thought about getting it for my kids because my kids love drawing and doodling and doing crafty stuff like that. So I've actually thought about getting a couple of them.
I have also, and I just haven't pulled the trigger. It's like I can't justify it for myself. Someday, maybe at
Yeah.
Christmas, maybe this year.
Yes.
You said, is your daughter 5?
She turns 5 in September.
Okay, so yeah, so my daughter's also about to be 5. So, hmm,
Yeah, man, our kids are like spot on same age.
it's scary close. That I remember when you asked me about the P3 and we were talking about kids. I was like, oh wow, yeah, our kids are literally the same. My buddy Bob up here, he has 3 kids and his son. They're all boys, but his newest is almost a year old, or he is a year old. So they say, with 3, everything is like the same kind of chaos.
Just on a bigger scale.
Yeah, but finding babysitters is harder
Oh, yeah.
because the 3, like 2, you can kind of like, oh, all right, but 3 is like pushing some people's limits.
That's why we don't go anywhere.
Oh God. Was there anything you could think of playing Weird Al? Like, did you get the squeeze box combo or did you get the ramp to do the whole trick shot thing?
I'm trying to think all the stuff because like I said,
It's only 10 games. I mean,
it was not even 10.
that's not a lot if you think about it. I mean, it
That's
sounds like a
why,
lot, but
and of course, I'm a terrible player, so it's not like I got real deep either. I'm a very big pinball lover. I'm a terrible player. I know I got the Harvey multi ball, and then I got like the VIP stuff and to select whatever mode you want.
hmm that's kind of a fun thing to do.
Not get UHF.
I think that's harder than it sounds because that's that whole like super shot with
Yep.
the upper play field into the camera. And I forgot how you started. Even there must be a UHF shot below it.
Yeah, I think it's got to be like qualified, and then you like the lock opens, you can get in there, but
Mm.
I'm not 100% on that. I mean, I was primarily like listening to the audio and like getting a feel for the shots more than anything, and just kind of absorbing the game without getting like I wasn't worrying about like all the code and everything. I was more paying attention to like the overall aesthetic. And that's
Hmm.
where I was picking up on that nuanced, like all the weird little things he was saying. I don't know. It just made me happy playing it. It's like, there's some games where you're like, it's just fun. Like, but what I like about it is it does have the depth. Like, there's so much to do. That's what's crazy. Like, there's other games that are, I would say, not so deep, but they're just fun to play. But I feel like this has a lot of depth to it. Like I said, like I was looking at the screen and I'm like, oh man, you got to collect spatulas, t-shirts,
What's the junk?
tools. Yeah,
Is it
like
to
there's
the what's the stuff you get from the back? Or broken things, right? Because there's the closet in the back too.
yeah. So like it kind of reminded me of like how like in the Hobbit where like you're doing all these things to get to the wizard modes. So like you had to like, do all these multi-balls and all this stuff and you're always qualifying things. So it was like that, but it's like that's in addition to the regular modes. Or kind of like Metallica is kind of similar, I guess, in that way where you're qualifying, collecting all these things to get to like crank it up. But it just seems like this is a lot beefier as far as like what's to do. I don't know. I was just really happy with the time I had on it.
So I also suck at pinball, and like you mentioned Metallica, I have one. Not good at it. No idea how to play it, but I had a lot of fun playing it. But for some reason, the P3 when I was watching Kevin stream, things seem because the screen is there and it can kind of tell you stuff like spatulas and collecting other things. It seems like it's deep, but it kind of tells you what you can do. However, like uh, I mean, if Kevin never went up to the upper playfield, you'd have no idea you could build sandwiches or start that mode. I mean, there's so much crap. I think people are going to have unless they know what the code is or what to do, there's going to be a lot of people that like never see half of it.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be one of those.
You gotta take the glass off and start poking around. Doot, doot, doot. I did notice that the callouts were very varied. Wow.
Yeah.
They were so, and it was funny that you mentioned the whole. He says funny things when you cancel because I heard him say a couple things. I looked back at the TV like, what did he say that?
Well, and he says it very quick. Like you have to like pay attention because like in there, and it was different every time. Like that's why I was laughing. I'm like, oh man, this is what I appreciate about the game. Like this little weird nuanced stuff.
They definitely are a lover of doing the best they can at multimorphic. So
Oh, for sure. Like I really appreciate everyone that works there, and the Discord is such a blast to be in. Like all the owners are very helpful with one another, and then of course a lot of them multimorphic. It's a fun time.
yeah. Oh, speaking of, new to me is the Lexi and Cosmic Cart playfields.
I heard.
And so I also bought Ranger in the Ruins, which, duh, why would I not? I love that game. And then I just got to save up for, like, I think you have it, Sorcerer's Apprentice
Yep.
and Rocks. I still need to get Grand Slam, but
Oh yeah,
that's
because you
it.
have
The
Cannon
Cannon
Lagoon.
Lagoon. I don't,
Wow,
my
so
kids.
you're gonna have every module.
Yeah, fortunately. So what is that, 5 playfields? Then Nick's making one,
Yep. Yep.
Drained, which I love vampires, just not sparkly ones. So hopefully they don't sparkle. But I'm excited. His looks like an EM kind of it's kind of gobble hole. So what would you call that? Like
It
that's like
reminded
the
me of like Mini Pool or something. You know that game? That Gottlieb?
I think so. Is that the one where you
Like
like
like the whole back like how to describe it? Like it's like a ton of stand up targets and a couple gobble holes.
what'd you call it?
Pool. It's a Gottlieb. It's a mini flipper game.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Well,
That
that'll
was
be
the
interesting.
game that came to mind when I saw it.
I'm excited just to have hopefully he'll be the first one that's not multimorphic to make a playfield and I'll
Yep.
be kind of fun to have it. Hopefully it works out. I mean, he's full steam ahead, so
I have a lot of confidence in him. I
he,
think he's
he,
proven himself.
he doesn't stop, man. He just
No,
keeps going.
and all of his games are so fun. What I like about Nick is he's paved the way for like us regular people with P3s to like go make their own games for the P3.
And he's there to he will help you.
Totally.
Yeah, him and Jerry both bug me to because I've always talked some mad trash about making a game. They both bug me to get back on it because getting the version of Unity is, if you're not on Windows, is a little difficult. So I was on a Mac for trying to develop for a while, and then found out like the version that they want you to build on is on a Mac OS X 10.11 or something. It's super old, and of course I'm beyond that, so I couldn't do it. Then I was like, oh, I'll just do Windows, and then that went down its own rabbit hole. But then I put Linux on a server, and Linux is its own beast. And Nick was very helpful, and the other devs in the P3 or yeah, the P3 chat were very helpful on getting Unity configured. But Nick loves Linux, so he's a good resource for any Linux problems.
Yeah,
But
I am not into programming or anything like that. So that all that is beyond me. I told Nick, I was like, you make those games and here's my money.
they kept telling me about this demo game, and so I tried to get that loaded up, and every time I generate the file for it, I'd get busy and forget, and it would expire. So I haven't even loaded the demo game onto my P3, but I'll have to do that. But like you said, in the summer, you kind of get busy. Like I have lots of house projects and hanging out with your kids. And Nick has older kids that seem to either want to ignore their parents or hang out with themselves or just do whatever.
Self
So
sufficient.
yeah, that'd be kind of nice. I'd enjoy children, but then then they don't want to be around you, and I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of
Yeah,
sad.
that's the trade off. Now that they're self sufficient, you can just get out of there.
And then once they drive, they never want to be around you.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I'll be breaking their cars at night, so they have to fix it. Well, we'll have to talk after we play our Weird Al's. I know that I ordered some extra artwork. I don't. Oh, you got the LE kits. You got everything.
I did. Yep.
I ordered the plastics and the apron. Yes, and then the upper flipper kit. We both have to install that for the left.
Yep.
Sounds like it's not too bad,
Well,
right?
well, well. I talked to Kevin and I talked to Nick because they had both gotten theirs and put theirs in, and they were both like, "Oh, it was not that bad." So TJ obviously does a really good job with all the documentation.
Yeah, and you did the flipper upgrade kit, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought I printed those off and just brought them downstairs and was like, you read them, and I was like, oh yeah, like
Oh,
you said.
I asked Nick initially, like, I was like, dude, don't BS me. Like, how long did it take you to put it in? And he's like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. He goes, honestly, the flipper upgrade kit was worse because you had to do some drilling because you got to drill the
Oh,
holes to
that's
put the
right.
bracketing on for the.
EOS thing. Yeah.
He's like, that was worse. I'm like, oh, well, that was nothing. So good.
So is this we have to take? Do we have to take the TV out?
Uh, I think it's better to do that to have more
Oh, more space.
working space. So, which I mean, I've taken mine out before. It's no big deal.
No, yeah, like once the lower flipper section comes out, like everything just slides right out. You just
Yeah,
unplug it.
it's all on rails. You just slide it right out. It's like a sandwich.
I think I did it just for fun. Because then I remember Ryan and I took the plexi or polycarbonate out the playfield, and we were just talking about replace it. Like he was like, "Well, look how easy it is to replace it." I was like, "Yeah, that is easy."
Yep. Yeah, I've taken my plexi out a few times to clean it off. I took the TV out once. I think I took the screen out because when I got mine initially, the main display wasn't turning on because there was a tiny wire that came loose, like a plug, like a literal tiny little plug. So we slid it out, popped it back in. I mean, it took like literally 20 seconds start to finish.
Have you put your P3 playfield in the upright position?
Um, I did to do the flipper upgrade kit.
Like not like on the rail, but like you tip it up, like
Yeah, like you
almost up
put
to
it
the head.
like was it service 3 position they call it?
I think so.
Yeah, you got to have the module out for that.
Yeah, that son of a bitch is heavy.
It's yeah, it's got weight to it.
Oh boy. Who was telling me it was either Multimorphic or Ryan where they're like, "Yeah, good, have fun putting your playfield all the way up." I was like, "Nah, it can't be that bad with the module out." It's like just not what you expect. It's just, "Oh yeah, you gotta push.
Yep. Yep.
Go to the gym the day before."
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to swapping out like the cabinet artwork because everything's been heist since I got it. Which I mean, it's only been a year, or not even a year. It'll be a year in August, so we're coming up on a year. So it'll be nice to take all the heist artwork off, put all the Weird Al on, and
What are you gonna do with all the magnet art? You're just gonna store it? Like, does it roll
yeah,
up then?
I'm not. I don't even think I'm gonna roll it up. I like Ian Harrower put that magnetic paint on his wall and was sticking to that.
Mhm.
Too lazy to do that much painting. So I think we have like metal racking in our basement with like plastic totes on them. So I think I'm just gonna put them on top of there and like sandwich it between like I don't know. Yeah, but get like an old sheet just so they don't get all dusty and gross, and just kind of wrap them
Yeah.
up and leave them flat on top of the totes. The kids can't grab them and fold them in half and snap them.
Oh, children. Yeah, I don't wanna show them that they're magnetic because then they will just keep doing that, peeling them up and then
Yeah,
they'll
and then want
just
to put
get
them on your
rubbed.
refrigerator.
Mhm. But you're right, like, I just have the heist cabinet art. I should think about getting, like, the generic or the Weird Al artwork.
The generic one is really cool. If I didn't have Heist, I totally would have got that.
Didn't he say there was some, like, hint on the next game from it or something?
Yeah, I mean, I brought that up. I was like, Jerry, where's this hint? After Al came out, I was like, dude, what is this?
That's not a hint.
No, nothing. There's no hint.
See? He's such a troll. They still tell me that there's a secret in my cabinet, and I've looked. Unless they wrote it in some, like, invisible ink, they're just pulling my leg. Um, have you done all the updates via Wi-Fi?
Since Wi-Fi became enabled, yes,
It's
every
so
time.
handy.
So nice. But to be honest, even when it was USB, it updated quick.
Uh, yeah, way
Like,
faster than a Stern.
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I remember doing updates on like my Metallica. Holy cow, this is like come back in 2 hours.
Um, have you had the experience of updating a Spike 2 via Wi-Fi?
No, I have not because I sold my Avengers like right as the kits were coming out.
Mm, it's horrible. So I was
So
en route and I had forgot my USB, or I was like, "Oh, being like a smart ass," and I was like, "Oh, I should just try it." It took forever because it downloads chunks and then it verifies the chunks and then it downloads the next chunk and verifies it. And so it's just like, I get the verifying, but this is worthless. I think you can tell it to download it in the background or something, but at my location that I have Rush at, they shut everything off at night. And so I don't want to make it power off
yeah.
unwanted while it's updating or something. So USBs for those because I'm not dealing with that crap again. But
So are you only person operating? Do you have like a partner or how's that work?
I operate a game. Bob has a couple games out. Another buddy, Jesse, has one game, and then the bar owner. So the bar owner has two bars. One's in Duluth and one's in Superior. The Superior has is the average Joe's that has three Spike 2 games. So they're all insider connected. I'm trying to get a TV up there for the leaderboards to be
Mm-hmm.
shown all day because those are kind of fun to just see.
Yeah.
And then the other bar is the Rex in Duluth, and that has all the old stuff. So,
So that's interesting to me because you're technically operating in two different states. So
I
how much of a pain is that?
don't know. It's fine.
I don't know. I just plop the games off and
uh, it's pretty lax. Basically, it's just hobby operating, and then the bar owner is very open because to him the games don't matter. They're just bringing in people to buy drinks, and drinks are where bar people make money. So he's cool with whatever as long as it makes him liquor sales.
yeah, well, for sure.
So I convinced him to sell Jurassic Park, which made no money, for Godzilla, which makes lots of money.
It's a good move.
Uh, some of the players here disagree, and I'm just like, well, obviously you don't agree. You didn't put money into it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Cash box speaks for itself.
yeah, and Monsters is still freaking crushing it up here.
I I wouldn't. I'm not surprised by that.
Everybody else says it's crap. I'm like, whatever, not up
I mean,
here.
there's games that I want at home, but if I was an operator, like you got to go for theme, right? So obviously you're gonna go Star Wars, Ghostbusters, stuff like that. The big recognizable stuff. Munsters, I think, is big enough that's recognizable, and that game easy to play.
It's a lot of fun.
I mean, it's a fan layout. It's fun to shoot. I mean, I don't think the rules are that amazing or deep, but it's. I don't know. I think the big gripe is that it's too easy, but in the long run, is it fun? I mean, it's fun. It's fun enough. I mean, am I going to buy one? No, but when I play it, it's always on location, and I'll throw a couple bucks in.
I feel the same. It's recently, since our route hasn't changed, I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm getting bored, but I'm also not putting up big scores. So I almost need to just be like, all right, here we got to put a couple bucks in a row and start actually trying to play. And so I was trying to look up like how to make big points on games because because just flopping around is fun for a few games, but then it like you just get kind of sick of it. So like you kind of have to have something to shoot for, otherwise it probably does get boring. But Rush, would never have bought it unless my father-in-law wanted it. So after route, it'll go to his house. But it's
I'm assuming it's a pro, but maybe you bought a
yeah,
premium.
no, it's a pro because it was one of his first run with the scoop shenanigans.
So I've only played it at shows, and I really enjoyed the game. Um,
It to me, it grew on me
mhm.
with the more I learned how to play it. The shot layout is so freaking different that it nothing's in a spot that you would think, and so it for a first time player, it probably pisses them off. So for me, like playing it for the first time, I was like, God damn it, this game sucks. But once you start learning the rules, I read a couple things, and then they updated the rules a bunch, and then they added those competition. What are those modes like when you start? It's like the brain. You put a buck in, and then you can hold the flipper buttons, and you can pick a different mode.
Oh, like you can do like a challenge mode, not a challenge mode. What they call
Yeah,
them?
challenge mode. There's
Yeah,
two of them on Rush, and they're really fun. So Rush has grown on me, but it does not make nearly as much money as Monsters or Godzilla.
that's interesting. I mean, it's a pretty well-known band. Um,
It's also at a bar, and so they're not loud, so it's not easy to hear it.
yeah,
I thought about putting a headphone jack on it so people could listen, but then I don't know how worthwhile that is because it's like $40.
yeah. Well, and then would you supply headphones?
Nope.
Yeah, because they'd be stolen.
Yep. If I had a P3 on route, I could just have Bluetooth going,
Exactly.
Uh, so why do you like Rush?
I don't know. I just like shooting it. It's a fun shooter to me. Like it's a cool layout. I mean, everyone fights about, oh, it's just like X-Men or Tron or whatever, but I enjoy it. Got a lot of shots that are fun to me.
I guess it's like other stuff, but it's not like other stuff either because it's definitely different. Every time I hit the sweet spot on the right flipper, it hits the shot to the left of the time machine. The time machine is like high up on the right flipper, so it's totally different. Like I would think Scott Denisi would like it because he likes stuff that's different.
I also feel like I like different games.
We have a TX sector.
Well, there's certain people, and I know these people that where they want all their games to look a certain way, and they want everything to be the same. And
Uh,
I'm the total opposite. I want the like TX sector's got a weird back box. Like the weirder the better.
hmm
Like
yeah.
when I had an Oktoberfest for a while, that had a crazy back box. I don't know. I just like I would love to have a bonsai run, like just
Ooh.
weird, crazy stuff like that. And, and a lot of that stuff you don't see all the time either. So
Yeah, I don't mind my games not matching. I've always wanted like an easy game and a hard game, and then when the collection grew, obviously things kind of got replicated. But I don't know. Uh, the longer I'm in the hobby, the more I'm liking the older stuff, like the '80s stuff, because I did not like that stuff when I first got in.
Well, I was the same way. Like I said earlier, honestly, like, you know what I'm being drawn to right now, like Sam era of Stern for some reason. I don't know why. I'm like, man, I really want to play like a 24, and like,
You're making me miss my CSI.
I didn't mind
I've
CSI. I mean, it
so
was
I
weird.
really liked CSI actually.
Yeah.
Really liked it. I've never played a 24 or an X-Files.
Well, X Files was Sega.
Wasn't that what board was that though? Because I
That was
forgot what's
a White
White Star.
Star.
White Star was first.
I think that was White Star.
I forgot if White Star then Sam. They all
Yep,
look
I
the
went White
same to
Star
me.
then Sam.
What else was there? Because like Monopoly, I like that a lot. That's fun.
Yeah, that
But
was White Star.
Wheel of Fortune
I
can go to hell.
I didn't mind. You know what? I would if a Wheel of Fortune came along for the right price, I would buy it. So
So a
weird.
dollar, I would totally buy one too.
Well, well, someone's selling one around Minneapolis for like 5,200, I think, right now.
Well, the other Ryan had one for a little while,
Couldn't take it.
and he talked all big about it, and then yeah, he dumped it pretty quick.
It's definitely different. It's not. I mean, to say it's not standard is an understatement with the way that the flipper gap is with the.
I lost
I
playing in a tournament on it, and so and I was like new to the hobby, so I'm not good, but like,
the bad taste in your mouth.
yep, regretted it ever since.
Yep, I can understand that.
There's a really cheap NASCAR for sale down south.
Yeah, that's like a guilty pleasure game. Like, that's fun enough.
Right. Totally.
Like, and they're not that expensive.
Oh no,
Like, that's like
this
one of the
one's
few pinball machines that you can get for a decent price. I mean, relatively speaking.
yeah. That was one of those. The other Ryan sent it to me, and I'm like, yeah, I would love that, but I don't have 24 hours plus to go drive down and grab it. Why not? It's like, well, yeah, with 8 children,
Yeah,
it's a little hard. What else isn't Walking Dead, Sam?
Walking Dead is Sam.
Uh,
So is Star Trek.
yep.
Walking Dead was that,
Yeah, because they had a prototype Spike version.
and then I have a World Poker Tour, which is the first Sam game.
Ooh, I had that too. It's a fun one. It's a fun
It's
one if
different.
you like going into the rules like deep. The upper playfield was not as bad as I thought it was going to be to take apart.
Yeah, I have not taken mine apart yet. I'm dreading it because it could use a good cleaning.
Mm, it like the flippers are super tall for to do the like extended links, but it wasn't that bad. It's just plexi, so it's plexi. It's just that ace in the whole mech. Hopefully the optos always work.
Yeah, my whole mech is an issue right now, and Dave has putzed around with it many times because I'm like, dude, I don't know, it's machine gunning. Like,
That that drop
the
down
yeah, those
tooth.
bars that come down to block the ball,
Ugh.
and because there's like two coils back there. One one brings those bars up, and the other coil holds it in place. And Dave was thinking that the coil that holds it is like dying, so it lets go. So the other coil keeps jacking it up. So like falls, drops, but fast.
Oh. Or it's like not if it's that little coil magnet and it's like mushroomed the metal so it can't hold it correctly.
Yeah, or whatever's going on. It's a coil issue, clearly.
Ugh. And it's like behind the freaking backboard.
Yep,
Oh god. Yeah. The dreaded part of the mech.
yep. It's actually not too bad to take off. There's like, I think, 6 screws holding it on, and then there's all the connectors and all that. But
Probably might as well take the playfield out.
yeah. But to your point about that opto, yeah, that sucks because that's the only game they've used it on, and of course it's never in stock anywhere. No one has it.
Shut up, it's a unique opto. Ugh. And you've already like reflowed the LEDs on it. Yeah. Yeah. You could always ask Charlie at the pinball basement if he would pop them out.
Yeah.
He loves doing quick stuff because it's just easy to get on his website, and those should be super simple. What else is broken? Anything else fun?
Broken? Oh, there's a lot of broken stuff.
Shit.
Had some people over when the drop targets broke on Pinball Magic, so I ordered all new ones and new decals because they were filthy anyway. So I
So
was
that's a
like, ah,
Capcom, right?
it's a Capcom, yep.
So are the drop targets weird? Are they still
Not
made?
really. I mean, I bought them from Marco, the replacements.
Oh,
I
okay.
have
So
them.
they're still
Yeah,
good.
it's all available. All that stuff's available.
That's the scary part, right? Like your big game.
Yeah.
That's where you start getting to the stuff that's not reproduced correctly or whatever.
Well, the one game I had that really freaked me out was Magic Castle of Zacharia.
Oh, that's a big name though, like the Magic Castle.
And it's a fantastic game. Like as far as like early solid state games go, like I loved it. That's why I got it. And but like some of that stuff, it's kind of like
Did you
oh,
sell it to Neo?
no, Neo's already got one. I had him come over and look at it, and one of his friends actually bought it off me though. That was the only game I had that I was kind of really leery about because I'm like, ugh. And to be honest, like I've passed on other games, like I've passed on a couple spookies and stuff because it would be cool to have and it'd be novel to be like, oh, I have like a really, really, really rare game, but it's like, something breaks, you better be able to like make the product to fix it. You can't engineer the parts yourself, you're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, luckily there's the hobby's sort of big enough for like Swinks in Australia has, I think he's reproduced 3D printing some of the Stern drop targets
Yeah, I was gonna buy some of his for stars.
because some of the other reproduction ones are angled funny or something, and so they,
Yeah, they brick.
yeah, they reject the
Sucks.
ball.
But I got another
Uh,
game. It's
and it's
terrible.
like, can't you guys just mold the damn original? Like, what? I don't understand. I don't get what the I don't get what the problem is.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think TX sector's in a big pile on a table.
Oh, don't worry, it's all Gottlieb stuff, right? So,
Yeah, it's
Steve over
cake.
at Pinball Pinball Resource.
Actually, I bought a bunch of stuff from Steve. I bought like new decals, new ramp flaps because my ramp flaps they were done. I mean, they look so mangled.
So, do you have a rivet gun thing?
You don't need them.
What? They
Nope,
just
not on Gottlieb's because you know what? The flap is reversed. So instead of the flap going,
on the ramp. It goes on the playfield.
no, it goes the other way around. So a little bit goes on the playfield, but the bulk of it goes up the ramp, and what holds it in place is posts. So the ramp flap has little holes that you put the posts through, and the
Yeah.
posts are what hold the flap down to the playfield and keep the ramp down.
Really?
At least on TX sector,
Off
and I
the
think it's the same way on my Victory.
okay.
So there's no riveting involved. It's super simple.
Bob has a 911 Rescue 911. I'll have to look at his ramp. Does he have a
Yeah,
ramp?
for sure.
I'll have to
Check
see
it
how they.
out.
I haven't had a Gottlieb in a while, so I'll have to. I miss my Water World. Should get the third one.
I've never had a System 3. I've only had TX Sector, the Victory, and Alien Star. I have.
So what are those like System 80 somethings?
Uh,
Those
Alien
are all.
Star is a 80, and
Yeah,
I think
those are like 80A and 80B.
the other two 80Bs, or I can't remember now.
But yeah, but they're 80 somethings.
Yeah, they're in the 80s.
Because I've had a bunch of System 1s. System 3 is, God, they're heavy
They're
and
big. They're a lot bigger.
they kind of feel over engineered, but once you bulletproof them, then they're like solid.
I mean, I wouldn't mind getting a Stargate. I know a lot of people, crack the joke about Shoot the Pyramid, but like, I actually think it's a cool game. Like, I mean, you look at that game, and you're like, man, I cannot believe Gottlieb made that. Like, there's so much stuff going on.
I played it at MGC and I couldn't get anything, so I don't know what is there, but yeah, that
So did you know that the pyramid actually opens?
no.
So the pyramid opens and a ship comes out, and
Oh,
it oscillates left and right.
oh, see, that's pretty sweet. You should just get a barbed wire. Wouldn't your family love having something like that at home?
I think, yeah, my wife would be really happy I brought barbed wire home. But ironically, along that line, she was not happy when I brought The Walking Dead home,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, it's an LE, so like, it's not that bad. It's a lot of, it looks like wood. It's a box, really.
It,
And the deal was I had to keep a sheet over it, which I did for a little while, and then like after a while, the kids would be in the basement. I'm like, oh, the sheet's not on there. So, my daughter calls it
what?
the owie game
Oh.
because everyone's got owies. I was like, yeah, they're hurt real bad.
Oh, that's good. Does your wife play pinball at all?
A little bit, not. I mean, she won't go down and play on her own.
Okay, so we have the same life.
So, I mean, if I'm down there and the kids are down there, she'll play. Or if we
Yeah.
have friends over, she'll play. It's not like she doesn't hate it. She likes it.
Yeah, it's just not her
She's just
thing, so
not she's not a lunatic like I am.
does she have any games that she has picked out or likes that you have?
So she was really mad when I sold Whirlwind,
Oh, yeah.
and the only reason I sold it is because it was a beater. It wasn't really nice.
Well, it's probably worth about 10 grand now.
Yeah, now for sure. But I mean, it had like inserts were raised on it, and like it
Uh,
was just there was some planking. Like it was not. It was total player game. But she's always wanted a Ruby Red Wizard of Oz.
ooh, I like Wizard of Oz.
I love it. I think it's great. It's just I don't want to pay for one.
Mm. I did when they were like 4,500.
Oh yeah, I mean back then,
Oh God.
a long time ago, games were cheaper. Um,
Yeah, back when everybody hated it, the
yeah,
whiteboard
exactly.
issue like really made the prices perfect.
Yeah, well, that's like I had a Hobbit that I got for a steal, and I ended up selling that, and it's like everyone ragged on that game, and I'm like, I kind of dig it.
Mm. I only played it at MGC when it was brand new, so yeah, I have no idea what the code
Well,
was like.
I finally bought mine after the final. I shouldn't say the final, but the last real big code update,
Oh, so that
and
was when people started actually liking it.
yep, and I picked it up off a guy locally, and I actually traded my Adams family for it straight up back then. I mean, obviously they're a lot higher now, like the Hobbit is, but
Mm-hmm.
this guy was like, he bought it brand new. He's like, I think he had like 45 games on it. He goes, get this
Oh
thing out
my,
of my house. I
oh
was
my
like, I'll take it.
God.
It was a black arrow, so it was really, really cool.
See, this is why I like hindsight stuff where you can't beat yourself up about it because it was the Hobbit was so much different back a couple years ago.
Yeah, where like you could get I distinctly remember someone locally selling like a giant mnemonic, a nice clean one where everything worked for like 1700. And I'm like, eh,
Yeah, I paid less than
I'll
that for
pass on
mine.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna buy that.
fishtail
Now
like
I should have snapped it up in a heartbeat.
well, my high speed I got for like 800, and I tried to resell it because I put a new display in it and cleaned it, right, new rubbers and stuff for 850, and it sat for like 3 months. It's like you see those games going for stupid money now. It's like
Yep.
people
Yep.
are ridiculous.
Well, that's like I sold my Metallica for 4500.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean this was years ago.
Yeah.
This was probably 3 years ago, maybe. I mean, it was before everything blew up, like how it is. And like it sold within a
10
couple
seconds.
hours. No, it sold within a couple hours. I mean, I had one guy, a guy up by Minneapolis that was wanted 1,000 pictures and this and then I finally got to a point I was like, dude, like I'm not doing any more legwork for you because you're clearly a tire kicker. He kept trying to lowball me, and then someone else locally ended up buying it. So then I messaged him. I was like, dude, it's gone for asking price. I'm like, sorry.
Or more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I sold my Ghostbusters and I thought it was a good deal. Like 2 months later, they're like 4 grand more. I'm like, holy balls! Why are people liking this game that much?
Yeah. Especially when it first came out, everyone hated it.
Oh my god, dude! People lost so much money in that game when it first came out. I liked it, but I'm not good like you, so like I just like I'll just flip around.
Yeah.
I actually did not like the code update. Wait, I should. I liked the code update that it mixed everything up and things started differently, but, like, it made the gameplay way too easy. Because I keep all my stuff at default, and I was pop you'd be po I played maybe 2 games on the new code, and then it sat for, like, almost a year, and I sold it. It would
You
pop
have a
off,
pro?
like, premium.
You get a premium? Nice.
It popped extra balls, just like, whatever, and then back then, they were having all those clear issues, so I didn't wanna play it. I had all the protectors on it, but I'm just, like, freaked out partly for that and just I don't know. I don't, the shooter lane, they get chewed up so fast, even with a Cliffy on them.
Well, and Stern has those eject coils on like
Oh, freaking
full on
max.
nuclear. So like you got to dial those things back because yeah, they'll just destroy your shooter lanes.
Yeah, I think on Russian Godzilla, I turn them literally as low as they'll go. They
Hey, the
still
ball
kick
just
out.
got to get kicked out. You don't got to sit there and rocket it out.
Oh my god. Uh, what? Are we gonna talk about anything else, or do you play any video games at all?
I do, but not like I used to. So um, I have a Mister that Owl Anonymous on Twitch
Mm,
made for me.
yeah.
Um, which I think will start changing with my kids being a little older now. Um, I did play the new Turtle game.
Oh my gosh. What'd you
That
get
was
it on?
I got it on PlayStation 4.
Okay.
I was worried about getting it on the Switch because I've gotten some games on the Switch, and the Switch definitely cannot handle it. And I'm like, I don't want to get a game and have it be all bogged down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I've probably played the most recently, as far as like putting a lot of time into something, Kirby Forgotten Worlds for Switch, playing with my
Oh,
daughter.
that's so fun with them.
Yeah, like my kids, like it's the perfect game for them because
So
like
are you the co-op person or are you Kirby?
um we actually just play solo and then we kind of pass the controller back and forth.
Oh, sure.
And by pass the controller, I mean my daughter gets frustrated and I have to jump over the cliff she can't make it over and then she gets the controller back.
Yeah.
Um but it's been a lot of fun because like it's the first game where she's like been engrossed into it, and I got to tell her like, okay, we're done playing for now. Like let's go play outside. Like we're not gonna sit here and play
Yeah.
this for hours on end. Like let's get out of here. But it's I don't know, it's fun. Like I mean, I grew up playing the Kirby games. Like I remember when the first ones came out, like on Game Boy and Nintendo. Like I was alive when that happened. And
Mm-hmm. Did you beat Forgotten Land yet?
no, I am on the final boss, and I have not beaten him yet.
Yeah, I'm think I'm close. I'm in the volcano land, and it's getting to the point where I was like trying to collect all the stuff per level.
Oh, you're doing like everything.
And it's getting to like all those little side mission levels. I stopped trying to 100% those because that's just it gets really ridiculous.
Well, the time, the course clear time, I'm like, yeah, right. There's no
Yeah.
like what it recommends. I'm like, I can't do that.
No.
How are these people doing this?
Uh,
It's like literally
cheating.
30 seconds fast. Yeah, it's like 30 seconds faster than what I can physically do. Like like okay, that's not gonna happen.
But my daughter likes playing it like yours, but she'll be Kirby and I'll be the little Doodle Bop or whatever his name is,
Yeah, what
which is
Waddle Dee
frustrating.
or
Yeah, Waddle Dee. Yeah, because she'll just I just have to follow her, and so she's off doing. It's like, oh my gosh, you'd like remind yourself it's just a game, and she's just a kid.
yeah.
But then sometimes we'll switch controllers so that like she can't jump over something or whatever, and oh, but she loves that game.
You know, it's
But
funny. I downloaded the Super Mario Brothers U game on the Switch and
mm-hmm,
the 3D World.
mm-hmm,
Side-scrolling U game too hard for her.
so
Whereas
hard.
like with the 3D World, it's way easier because she can walk around enemies.
Mm-hmm.
The side scroll, like you have to either attack them or jump over them or whatever, and like it's too much for her to handle apparently.
I want to say in the 3D one you can handicap a player to have almost be invincible.
Yeah, if you Well, if you can't complete a level after a few tries, it gives you like an invincibility power up.
Yeah.
So that happens a lot.
And so, like, my daughter can beat the first level, but then, yeah, I have to then I always she always wants to play while I'm cooking breakfast or something on the weekend. Well, then, like, I can't play with her. So
Yeah, because you're busy.
so yeah, it's like, "Hey, man, I'm making you eggs." Like, I can't make eggs and beat your level, so pick. Um, but she loves watching gameplay. What was the other one? Oh, she likes Animal Crossing, but since she
We have
can't
that.
read, it's
Yeah,
kinda hard.
that's the same thing. Yeah, we have that too, and it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of like, she'll go fishing and whatever, but like when it comes to like actually progressing, it's like, all right, give me the controller, let's do this, let's do that, and I'll give her back to her, and she'll kind of, it's all in time, all in time.
Yep. Did you try is it Yoshi's Crafted World?
Nope, we've not done that one.
That one's pretty good. There's a demo, I think, as well. I thought so. That one she can play by herself. Hmm. She's just talking about it, but yeah, it's you kind of had to like. Do you remember playing NES and just playing Super Mario Brothers like the first two levels over and over and over and over?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if like kids nowadays don't have patience or what, but I mean, I don't remember much more than the first couple levels because that's all I played because I suck so bad.
Yeah, those games were brutal back in the day.
Oh,
That's all
uh,
we had. And it was great.
yeah. So I have fond memories of getting my ass kicked.
I mean, I so vividly remember when Nintendo came out because I remember like we didn't have an Atari, but my cousins had an Odyssey 2 by Magnavox, which is pretty much the same thing.
Hmm.
So I remember like those graphics, and then when Nintendo came out, being just so blown away. I was like, oh my goodness. My friends and I have all talked about like how grateful we are that we were, like born when we were born to experience all this crazy technology. Like, we were alive before cell phones were a thing and before the internet was a thing. And it's just, it's see all these crazy things happen in real time is, you know,
It is weird. It's weird to think about. Like, I remember no internet, then dial up. Yeah, cell phones, three-way calling on a landline, and like our kids just have iPads
yeah,
since they're born.
yep. Oh,
They have
I
no
remember
idea.
like when caller ID came out, like, holy cow, it tells you who's calling you.
You got a
Whoa.
star 6 7, everybody.
Yeah. Like it's just bizarre to me. Like my kids are going to go to school knowing like what cell phones are and the internet and all this, like, so it's just so different. Like I remember going to the library and using the card catalog.
Uh, or what are those film things where you're like scrolling through film?
Oh, microfilm.
Yeah, to like when you had to get,
Like look at old newspapers.
yeah, when you had to actually get, facts or something instead
Yep.
of just Googling. Oh, our kids gonna have it so easy.
Well, now they give them Chromebooks.
Yeah.
All the answers are at their fingertips.
Where'd you get your data from? Oh, Wikipedia.
Tells me
J-
everything.
Jerks. Uh, did you see the new Top Gun?
I have not. It's on the list.
We kicked our kids out one night. We went to the movie theater with my wife and I. Luckily, it was $5 Tuesday, so we spent
Nice,
more on
nice.
popcorn than movie tickets.
Mm-hmm.
But I will recommend that movie. That was amazing.
I've not heard one person say a bad thing.
It's I found a dude on YouTube who's like a ex F-14, F-16 fighter pilot, and he was doing like reviewing Top Gun and Top Gun 2 and like what's possible and stuff. And I mean, he said it was pretty legit. There's a couple things, but it was pretty good. Uh, like re reality wise. I don't
Yeah,
know how.
it's not, my wife's favorite movie is the first Top Gun. So,
Oh, how have you not seen it?
well, work, kids, having a baby soon. Like
Just
it's
calling
just.
sick.
And then we were on vacation the third week of June, and then I was gone this last weekend. It's just nonstop
It's it's hard, man. Like by the time you see it, it'll probably be on DVD or HBO or something.
for sure. Which we have all that stuff. Which our thing is like you binge a show, like you watch an episode or two a night after the kids go to bed. Just finished watching The Boys.
So we started it, The Boys, and it was like a little hyper violent the first couple episodes.
That's putting it lightly.
Oh, okay, so it stays that way.
Oh yes, it does
Okay.
not. It not. Oh man.
So
I
it's
mean, I don't want to give
maybe
anything
I just
away,
watch
but
by myself.
I have a pretty thick tolerance for that kind of stuff. And this season, the way it started, I was like, it's the first time I'm uncomfortable. Something.
Yeah, we
But
stopped because it was like, this is a little, well, I could
it's
watch it by myself, but
yeah, it's extreme for sure. But what I like about it is like it's like, yeah, if superheroes were real, this is how they would be.
they
Just
might actually be
scumbags.
that way, yeah.
Like they're actually not really good people. They're all bad guys.
I mean, it makes kind of sense. Did you, so you must have the Disney Plus with the kids, right?
Ah, of course.
Did you watch all the new Star Wars stuff?
So I've not watched all of Obi-Wan. I think we watched the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Oh, and he's a whiny bitch.
But we have watched all the other stuff. Like so obviously we watched Book of Boba Fett.
Mando, yeah. What's the other one? No, there's one more. I wrote it down because I like spaced on it. No, you're right. Obi-Wan and Boba Fett, yeah. And Mando.
We watched a lot of the Marvel ones, but then one I didn't what's it called? Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Oh, sure.
The second one. Because we watched WandaVision and we were watching that. Like the first 2 episodes, we're like, what? This is garbage. Like I don't want to watch this. Like this is just like where's this going?
Hmm.
And then like it finally like kicks in and it's like, okay, now this is kind of cool. And then we watched Loki.
I didn't like Loki.
Loki was okay.
Yeah, I made it like a couple episodes, and I was like, what was? Oh, did you watch what's the one at Christmas where he's the the bow and arrow dude?
Nope, have not watched that one with Hawkeye.
That was really good. I think my wife even watched it with me. So I was surprised how good it was.
Yeah, well, now that we've finished The Boys, like we're looking for the next thing to jump into. Still got to get caught up on Stranger Things. I've only watched the first 2 seasons of that.
Oh my God. Okay,
I
so
know.
it just finished all of four. And when so Stranger Things season one was magical and amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I never thought two and three lived up to it. But four, when I saw the trailers, I thought it was like, ah, this is overproduced like Michael Bay stuff. The trailers did too much. Like they made it look like it was overproduced Michael Bay stuff. But when you watch it, yeah, man, it's probably one of the best seasons. I mean, I'd still say season one is that magical kind of nostalgia, but season four is like it's like the Harry Potter series when they get to season six or whatever, year 6 or 8, where they're like getting dark, kind of turns it up a notch. That's what it feels like. So if you can
Yeah,
crush
everyone's
through,
been ranting and raving about season 4, so it's like, all right, time to buckle down and get caught up on that.
yeah, man, that was a good
Well,
one. I liked it.
the one show that I just watched a couple months ago for the first time, and I watched it start to finish, was Game of Thrones.
Okay,
Like I
did
was
you read any of the books?
not a one.
Okay, me neither. I started one. I was like, way too boring.
Did you watch the shows at all?
I watched the entire series.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I did not like the last couple seasons, only because I thought that they could have done it differently. Like, I also felt like the writing, you could tell when the books stopped and the writers for HBO took over and kind of just changed. They kind of like sped things up. I
Well,
wasn't a fan of that, but
being so late to the party and watching it, like I heard so much stuff about how the ending was so bad, which I agree the ending was bad. But even the last season, I thought the first couple episodes were not bad. It was the last couple that were, rushed and not good, didn't button things up very well. So the rest of the show, I was like, man, this is a really good show.
it was it was nice to have like a high quality fantasy show and like because you could tell they put a lot of production into it. I'll be curious to see what the dragon, yeah,
You know,
the
it's funny.
John.
I made my wife watch it, and I say that because she went ahead and read up on, so she knew everything already.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Well, that's your fault. We're watching this. Like you spoiled it for yourself, but I'm finishing this. So if you don't have to watch if you don't want to, but I am." So she sat with me and we watched the whole thing.
So, did you guys watch The Witcher?
Nope.
Okay, so I didn't think my wife. I have no idea what my wife likes. I guess I just start watching The Witcher because I feel like she wouldn't like it. Uh, and she must have walked in on like the bath scene or something. She was like, "Hey, who's that guy?" I was like, "Oh, that's
Don't
Superman."
mind if I pop a squat and see what this
Yeah,
is about.
I was like, "That's Superman, Henry Cavill, Mr. Sexy Pants over here." And then she's like, "Oh, I'll watch this." So I finished the season because this was season one, and then it was a little confusing. One of my coworker developers at work explained season one to me. It made a lot more sense because there's a bunch of time jumping. So I explained it to my wife, and then we watched it together. And obviously, on the second time through, I was picking up those little things that my coworker talked about with the time jumps. But that is a good one too. It's kind of like the Game of Thrones. If your wife is into that, she'll like it. And he has his shirt off a lot, so it's all good. I think she saw him with because he's in Top Gun or something. He's in another show or whatever we watched, and she's like, I don't know if I like him with brown hair. just just wants to be whatever what dude's Witcher's name is.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we have anything else? Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Hmm. I think we've covered everything that's fun.
I think so.
I mean, obviously, the biggest thing we needed to cover was that we're both getting Weird Al very soon.
Oh my god. Probably the day of or the day before this airs. So it'll be edited in a day or two, and then we'll probably both have it, or you will.
Wanna? This is gonna be so tough because I'm not opening mine. I'm gonna do a live stream.
Oh my gosh, how long are you gonna wait?
I don't know. That's the problem. Because obviously, I want to open it immediately. Which, well, I guess the caveat with that is if the boxes are damaged, they're being opened. I'm not going to stream opening, jacked up stuff. But which I'm not anticipating that. I'm just saying if that is a possibility.
Do you have any
Because
cameras at home
obviously,
still?
I have enough here, um, where I can do it fine,
Okay.
and I have mics and all that stuff. But the bulk of the stuff is at Dave's still. But I have enough here where I can do an unboxing.
Are you just unboxing and like showing everything, or are you gonna put it in? And
I'm not going to install it. Like,
oh,
well,
okay.
we'll do that off camera. That way, in case there's any vulgar language and frustration, which I tend to get that way a little bit. So, but whatever.
Do you think you have to install the upper flipper to play it?
Good question.
I mean, I know you need.
I mean,
I know
you're going
you
to miss
need
a
it.
lot of the shots. Like, you need
Yeah.
it to like actually progress to the game because you can't make those inside upper ramp shots without
But
it. But
could I just stick it in there and
just turn it on and hope for the best.
just hope some ricochets go up the ramp or something? I was hoping Jerry would like fire me off the upper flipper kit like before. Yeah, so I could just
That's
install it.
I emailed and asked that, and I was like, "Can I just get that early and get it done?" And Jerry was like, "Well, we like to send it all at one time because we have a checklist and we want to make sure everything gets sent."
Ugh, engineer Jerry.
I know. I was like, "What the heck? Organization?
uh he is definitely on the ball with stuff. He's very
Methodical,"
methodical in particular.
which is good. That's who you want running a company.
Yeah. Huh.
You watch Kevin unbox his.
I started it, but I didn't. I kind of. What
You
did
had
I
to deal with
watch the
kids.
VOD? I think I skipped around or something. Because I like saw him pull out some tubes, and he like pulled the artwork out and then rolled it back up and or left it out and took metallic out or something. But I didn't see the entire unboxing.
I'm gonna do something pretty similar to him because it's pretty much all you can do really anyway. Is kind of take stuff out of boxes and show it off. And
That's the only upgrade we have to do, right? we'll see when it comes. Like, I don't know when UPS is gonna drop it off because UPS usually comes at like 5, and that's like crap time, right? It's like kids are home being crazy. But if
For
it's
us,
delayed,
our
yeah,
UPS is like all over the board. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no like consistent drop off. Depends on how crazy their day is.
but you'll get notified, right? Because
Yeah,
you'll be at
yep.
work. Yeah. At least your dad can throw it in the house.
Yeah, which he doesn't know about yet, but
Just just be like, "Oh, grab a beer while you're there."
yeah. I mean, he's retired, so and he doesn't live far away, which is why I'm going to ask him to swing over and handle it. But that's sitting outside in the heat, which I'm
Oh,
sure it's fine. But
can you imagine someone stealing that crap? I'd be
oh my
freaked out.
goodness, and they open it up. What the heck is this?
Just give it
They
back to
start
you.
they start pulling it apart for scrap, scrap in the metal.
Oh boy. So you're gonna sell your P3 and get a new one, or keeping the
I've
original?
actually entertained the idea of getting another P3 and getting two Cannon Lagoons and is up.
Oh, that is a pretty fun game when I played against Jerry. Who wasn't someone else on the Discord or something talking about having two to have a heist in a Weird Al?
Yeah, why not?
Was that you?
I didn't. I don't think I said that, but
Okay.
I've thought it.
I
I
thought
mean,
about
honestly, if you think about it, if you have a whole bunch of modules, why would you not just get another cabinet and have two games going at the same time?
because what would that be without a game in it? It's
Price
less.
wise?
Is it 10 with no?
No,
It's
no. I
less
think
than
it's
that
like I think is it well.
with no
This is me
playfield.
not looking it up, but I feel like they said like 8 or 8,500 or something like that. Maybe it's less. I don't know.
8,300. Oh, that's way cheaper.
It's practically free.
Don't tell my wife that.
But I mean, I've honestly considered it. It's like, well, a whole bunch of modules come out over time. It's like, why would you just not get another cabinet and then have? Because I've heard people argue like, well, yeah, you have one cabinet and you have like three modules, so you can still only play it one at a time. It's like, well, then get another cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if that's your argument, why can't you not get another cabinet?
Oh, you totally can.
They'll
And the
take
new
your money.
cabinets have all the upgrade stuff. Do you think Multimorphic will have more stuff, games or otherwise out this year? So it's a very interesting question, right? Because they're slammed with orders.
Yeah. Like,
But
well,
those
that's that.
those are orders for a completed game. Well, I shouldn't say it's completed. There's code updates, but there's multiple developers and such.
Well, I mean, are you asking from Multimorphic specifically, or from other developers like third party?
Well, we all know Nick is coming.
Yeah, well, there's other. I know other people too are developing games.
I guess there's no timeline on that stuff. I guess both. I feel like there should potentially be one or two third party.
Yeah,
But do you think there's going to be any more?
like actually from Multimorphic, like if they release another like
Yeah,
download game.
sure. Yeah, I don't think they'll have another. I don't think Multimorphic can support another playfield this year.
No, I'm sure they're working on another one or planning on it or
Well,
whatever.
I
But
bet you they have a couple. Yeah, but like they're probably so busy with Weird Al. But a software only download.
I can see that,
Hmm.
especially at the rate they're kind of kicking them out. Is
I
what
was
is
kind
the
of
newest come out before or after?
before. Yeah, and the hard part is, and it's not the hard part, but one thing I was thinking about was, so Cosmic Cart has had a handful of games built on it, and they always said like they want to make every module full so that people felt like it was worth the money. But
Yeah,
like the
as a value
Lexi,
add.
yeah, so like the Lexi module only has two games, technically three with the basketball, right? Basketball and two Lexis. So like that is open for another game, but the heist playfield could also have more because that only has two, and that's kind of generic city stuff. But I suppose you could always make another just super generic any playfield game. Hmm. I always ponder that stuff because, like, if they make these mini games, where they're like $100 to $200, I think they sell easier.
Yeah, totally.
Because, like, for me, I'm like, oh, like, what was it? Friday night, I bought the Lexi, the multi-ball one. So I'm like, oh, it's $100. Like, I can swing that without having to consult the accountant. at home. But when I have to go to
Get
like,
official permission.
yeah, when I have to go to 4 to 500, then I'm like, well, I kind of have to, plan and make sure I don't purchase this when we're trying to save money.
Well, I told you my buddy Rob bought
Oh,
a P3 locally.
yeah, you just got the heist.
So he bought Heist, and there was an ad for one local like 2 hours away from us, and he's come over and played my P3 a few times, and I give him the full treatment. I make him play every single game. I swap play fields and all that stuff. He got really hooked on Heist, and this last time he was over, he was playing the P3. He got a Heist going.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't finish it, whatever, and he was all super happy he got that far, and it was the farthest he ever got in the game. And I was like, there's a Heist for sale in Appleton. He's like, come on. So I send him the Pinside link. So a couple days go by, and he's like, man, he goes, that thing's really gnawing at me. And I was like, go get it. So he went and got it. So he goes up to look at it, and it came with rocks. The guy down on the rocks onto it also.
Ooh. So he's played all your games then, right?
Yes. Everything that I have so I have everything I can have for my 2 modules.
Did
Any
he
game.
did he like any of the other games as much? Or were they
Oh, for
just like,
sure.
okay.
Yeah. Like the last time he was over was the first time he played Shoot and Scoot. And I was like, dude, you got to play it. And he's like, he goes, so you're driving a
It's
pizza truck around? I'm like, just play it.
so freaking hard.
And that's exactly what got him. And he goes, dude, this is hard. I'm like, I know. He goes, I'm going to keep playing. So
It's
like he got kind of addicted to it, and it made me laugh. And like when I got my P3 last year, I got Heist, and I purposely got Cosmic Heart because I was like, well, I want to play online with people because that sounds super fun. But then I was like, I watched Kevin's stream Range in the Ruins, and I watched the VOD like I don't know how many times. And then I was like messaging Nick about it, and like though like Range in the Ruins is such a good game. That's like one of the most addictive one more game games I've ever
uh
played.
yeah, that game just
Just
pisses
can't
you off.
yeah, and like and that's the thing because you get so far or so close and you drain and you're done.
Well, and
Oh, again.
if you botch like the first item collect and you drain, you're just like, oh, well, I gotta play one more to get at least one item. Oh yeah, that's a one more ball all the time, or one more
Yep,
game all the time.
nonstop. So like yeah, like my buddy Rob, like I showed him everything, and he's like, man, there's like so much to do, and like the first couple times he came over, I was like, dude, all right, be honest. You've played 4 games on one module. Did they feel the same because they're the same shots? He's like, no, not at all. He's like,
Exactly.
not even close. He's like, they totally felt different from one another. And I'm like, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, that excuse is total shit. Like Ranger in the Ruins and Cosmic Heart, completely different for
They're the same at all.
whatever reason. Can't hit anything. Does he have plans to get some more stuff then?
He just got it. Like he just got it like 2 days ago. So I haven't been like bugging him too much because like I want him to kind of, play
Settled
with his
in.
baby, get settled in. And I mean, I've made some cracks to him, like, you know,
Hey, Silver Falls is only $150 away.
exactly,
You don't have to swap it out.
exactly. So sure, he'll get like Silver Falls and Shoot and Scoot and all that, and
Uh,
whatever. But
so I also, when I saw Shoot and Scoot, I was like, this is just some basic bitch stuff. And then on the Discord, someone made a couple comments of like, hey man, if you want to get good at playing P3 pinball, like this is the game.
and they're 100% right.
Yeah, and I bought it like, whatever, I'll just buy it because it's there. And yeah, it's not easy. The ball's always bouncing around, and then you have to make the decision of trying to trap or try to trap versus shoot to ball control. But then your
Well,
shot
and
moves
then
your
trying to
car.
sweep across like 2 coins or whatever it's so hard.
Yeah, so that definitely upticks your skill in ball control and aiming. It's because when you like at the end when you have 2 coins next to each other, like it's like I think it's one of the first levels, and you try to sweep it. to get both. There's a lot of like preparation and planning and how to actually shoot that. So it is definitely a hard game. As
Yeah, it's
pe-
definitely not a simple, easy gimme game.
people love judging it by the graphics.
I really enjoy. I mean, I enjoy those quote unquote mini games as much as the main game that the module is designed around. Like I have a blast playing all of them.
I sometimes feel too lazy to switch playfields, so I love being able to just switch to a different game.
Yep, just pull up the carousel and pick something else.
What's your best playfield on Barnyard?
I think it was Cosmic Carp, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
I feel like it's Cosmic Cart if you actually hit the shots and not the scoop. Otherwise, Heist
Oh,
wasn't
the scoop will kill
too
you.
bad. Just the reload just takes so long for it to like.
Kick the next ball out.
Yep. But if you can just hit
That
hit the loops or the ramps, like you're pretty good.
the game that I did the best on, I got lucky where I could like bounce. I was shooting for the side targets, so as soon as they would come out, you could get like multiple hits on them
Mm-hmm.
because you hit them going into the target, and then you hit them again on the way back as it bounces off.
Yep.
And I was getting these lucky bounces where it was like bouncing between both sides of the play field from like one side target to the other. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like racking up points right now. And that's how I got my one really good score that I put on Pin to Go.
I love it when the ball rolls over it after your game ends and it's like bouncing around and it's like just
Mm-hmm.
racking up points. Like, oh yeah, baby.
my kids, like I said, for whatever reason, like I said earlier, they really like the game, which I'm happy about. It's like, all right, good. Like that's what this is for.
I feel like if you were going to be a beginner P3 game maker, making that style of game or something similar to Rocks would be like where it's a rollover, it'd probably be the way to go. Did you turn on non-vegan mode or whatever?
Yeah, what do they call it? Meat eater mode?
Yeah.
Whatever it's called. Yeah, that's what it's set to. So
I
my
don't
kids think it's
s-
hilarious that it turns like the chickens turn to fried eggs and the pigs turn into ribs and
I don't I feel like it should happen more often, but because I'm enabled,
well, I
I'm like
think I think you have
nothing
to hit them
happens.
like 3 times for it to happen, like the specific animal.
Oh, okay. Because like I turned it on, I'm like nothing's changed, and then it was
I
like,
think you gotta hit the same one, the same graphic, a couple times for it to happen. I think it
oh,
doesn't just happen the first try.
God, I love the bacon though. Oh, silver. Huh. That's probably all I got until yeah. I don't know. This was fun to talk to you and see
Yeah, because
what
usually we're just texting back and forth.
see what the excitement is and all the kids, wrecking your stuff. Well, oh, I guess it is getting late. Do you wanna plug anything?
um,
Like, what's your stream when you unbox gonna be on?
So when I do that, it'll be on my personal stream, which is TurboGrafx7 on Twitch. Um, I'm not gonna have a regular schedule just because, like I said, I'm taking a hiatus from being on Buffalo because of the way life is right now. So I'm not gonna, if time allows, I'll stream occasionally, whatever. But to that, would say please check out my buddy Dave Brennan and Dave's Arcade. He's got his own channel. He's also streaming for Buffalo. So obviously, please check out all the Buffalo stuff. We've been talking about the P3. Kevin does a lot of stuff with Multimorphic, and
I'll put the Kevin's link
yeah,
to
it's good.
the Weird Al stream because that was a fun watch, especially
Yeah, it
when
was.
he started like the fire hose mode or whatever, and when he brought multi-balls into modes, that was new to me. So I was like, holy guacamole, that's fun to watch. So it'll also be fun to experience this stuff for ourselves and find out new things
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. Like finally digging into the game.
with the glass off, right?
Of course.
Yeah, block the drain, shove a sock down there. That's what I like
Yeah.
to do. Screw these guys getting big points. Well, thank you for being on. You can find us at Flippin and Mashing you can email us at flippinandmashing@gmail.com and find us on Facebook at Flippin and Mashing. And we will see you soon.
All right.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Bruno.